what is up? This is Anthony from East Africa Travel Tips, and we are traveling to Nairobi National Park today. So there are people who wonder whether Nairobi National Park is worth going to, and so today I decided to go to the Nairobi National Park. I'm on my way there. I'm on Thika Road right now, and I decided to do a self-drive instead of doing a tour van because that's what's affordable. And so I'm doing a self-drive to Nairobi National Park to be able to tell you whether it's worth going to or not. So stick around. We have arrived. So here we are at the Nairobi National Park. This is the main entrance. Here we go. There are a lot of people out there who have indicated that it's not worth going to if you're coming to Kenya. Now I'm Kenyan, so I've gotten to travel to a number of the national parks, and so I've not been inside Nairobi National Park itself, and so here we are. Oh, interesting. Warthog. I don't know whether you can see it. It is right there. Right there. Wait, there. There it is. A warthog in real life. So I'll let you know whether it's worth going to or not. So the first thing that happens when you come to do a self-drive in the Nairobi National Park is that you need to get into this office. Now this Safari Card issue and sale office is the first place where you get to register, see whether you will, like what, are you a citizen and so on, make the payments and so on. So here we are. Waiting in the queue. So I hit a snag. Apparently they don't accept cash. So if you are coming, please do not carry cash with you. Use your card or use M-Pesa if you actually want to get assisted. Now I want to see whether I can get an M-Pesa around here. If you don't know what M-Pesa is, it's a mobile money payment. Oh, by the way, Masai is sitting in the background. Interesting. So let's see whether I can find an M-Pesa around. So another snag, you have to have identification for you to prove that you are either Kenyan. So if you are Kenyan, have identification with you to just prove that you are a citizen. Or if you are a foreigner, make sure you have your passport. Don't leave it in the hotel or anywhere, because you'll need to actually identify yourself as whoever you are, as a tourist or whatever it is. So now that I have my identification documents, I have my ID, I have money in my mobile payment account, M-Pesa, now I can go and make the payment. So let's go. Okay, so when you pay, I've just paid, you get two things. First is a receipt, like this. Oh, this is terrible camera taking skills. Sorry. So you get a receipt like this, and then you get a card, smart card, I guess, allowing you to like gain entry. So there it is. So we are all set to go. Now I paid 1160. That's because we are two citizens. 1160 shillings. That's for the car and for our entry. And you can check out the rates. I'll attach them on the link below. Link in the description, as I usually say. Hi, so first thing we're going to do is enter, and so we are going to film it as we do. My lovely assistant is going to assist with that, so you can point there. This is the main gate where you enter from. Hi. Which one do you need? I have several. Okay. All right. So my strategy, because I didn't go with a tour van, is to follow find a tour van to follow. They probably know where they're going, and then I'll just follow them. Oh, by the way, there's a sign there written "No drones." No drones are allowed in Nairobi National Park, and actually in all parks in Kenya. That's because they create a really bad environment for the wild animals. So you want to avoid drones. If you have one, just leave it in the hotel or something when you carry it. If you're carrying it to the country. Yeah. So that guy, I hope to follow that guy. Just point at him. I hope to follow that guy if I'm able to get my receipts back in time until I'm able to find another tour van to follow. My strategy for that is... Oh, hi, thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need the cards back? Or...
The cards are temporary.
All right.
Then we keep the tickets.
All right, thank you. Which I've never been here before. Which way do I go?
You command the left side of the park.
Left side?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a bit drier.
Okay.
And the local animals are on that side.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa
at
sawa.
number one,
Uh-huh.
put the left hand.
Okay, at number 1.
Yes.
I'm told that there are lions at number 5.
Between 4 and 5.
Between 4 and 5.
Yes, the same route.
Okay.
On the left.
Sawa sawa. Is there any risk of getting stuck? Because this is not a 4x4.
Yes, there is.
So I need to be careful.
Just be careful and gauge the road.
Okay.
If you see that you cannot make it,
Uh-huh.
don't insist.
Okay.
Come back, just another route.
All right. Thank you. You're very helpful.
Karibu sana.
And we are inside Nairobi National Park. So let's shoot that way, point that way. Yay! So I've been instructed to follow the left side follow the left side. So here are a few signs. First is please ensure that you keep your ticket. So here it is. Please ensure that you keep your ticket until you leave the park, and then failing to produce it on your request may lead to prosecution. Make sure you keep those tickets safe. Speed limit is 30 kilometers per hour throughout the park. And then that's the translation in Kiswahili. Hakikisha unahifadhi tikiti yako wakati wote ukiwa katika park, la sivyo utashitakiwa. That is me having like an English accent to Kiswahili. I'm sure the Kenyans must be laughing at me or probably sneering. Yeah. So I've never been to Nairobi National Park, interestingly, and I've lived in Thika, which is near Nairobi, for a long time. I'm surprised that it's tarmacked. I didn't expect to find it tarmacked. And so let's see what we're going to find. So one of the things that you may wonder about Nairobi National Park is whether doing a self-drive is something worth it. Now, I've written in a blog that it's probably not worth it to do a self-drive of many national parks because it's easy to get lost. You won't have a guide. You will easily, you can get stuck in mud and so on. And I think I'm going to change that opinion of Nairobi National Park because the park is tarmacked.
Not all of it.
Not all of it is tarmacked. I actually got warned by the lady, the very nice lady at the gate, to be careful and not insist because right now it's the rainy season. It just rained pretty heavily a few days ago, and so most of the park may be quite wet and muddy, and so you want to be careful. Now these guys are breaking the speed limit. I hope they don't get caught or something. Yeah, but I think I want to change my opinion of that you probably want to do a self-drive. I'm seeing a lot of vehicles doing drives here in the park. I had a lot of people around me, and what I'm driving is a Toyota Corolla, not exactly suited for 4x4 travel, and so I wouldn't advise you necessarily to use it in a place like Masai Mara or some of the more rugged parks. But right now, my opinion right now is that it's working out for me. Let's see how it turns out at the end of my drive, and I'll advise you whether you can just get a normal rental car, and if you're Kenyan, just take your car, your moti, to the national park. So I am now on a dirt road. I don't know whether you can see that. I am now on a dirt road. and I'm seeing it's been about 1 minute in. I'm not seeing any animals yet, though we've been advised that we'll find lions at point number 4 or 5. I've been advised to keep the left side of the park. Apparently it's drier, and so I might I'll have a much easier time. But I've also been advised that be careful not to get stuck. If you find that it's a challenging spot, don't insist on crossing it because you might get stuck. And so, word of advice if you're going to take a drive. Now, I was asked to take the left, and I am now taking a left turn. I don't want to get into the side paths because I don't have a GPS, I don't have a tour guide. Probably one of the dangerous things about coming to Nairobi National Park on your own is that you may get lost, and I am not yet lost, but I feel like I might be if I'm not careful. So let me just follow the path, find someone I can follow. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. That scenery is absolutely stupendous. Look at that. So one of the risks that I took in taking a Toyota Corolla to the Nairobi National Park is that a lot of this place has very tall bushes, and so if you wanted to stand, you would not be able to stand because, well, you are in a small car. And so I want to probably, we'll see whether it was a good decision or not.
Should have picked the turn.
So apparently, I think the left turn I may have taken was leading back to another tarmac. So here we are. Let's see where this leads us. So we're here at the left turn that goes to Haina Dam, the Aerodome and Lone Tree, and the other side goes to Nangolomo. I'm sure I'm murdering that name. Park Forest and Impala OBS point. Now, one of the signs that I'd like to point you at is one that is right there that says do not get out of the vehicle. Now, the reason why this is that Nairobi National Park has lions, and so you do not want to be found outside because, well, you'll be eaten. And so you want to make sure you don't get out of the vehicle. Don't dangle your don't dangle your feet outside of, or your hands outside of the vehicle either, because, well, you never know what's lurking in the background. So the first animal we are seeing, the black blob that you're seeing in front of you, is a buffalo. Now there is another buffalo. Oh wow. Now I have written a post on whether you should use a professional camera or not, and I would say a cell phone is not the best camera for taking wildlife photography because, as you can see, my footage is not all that, but it is there. So there is an African buffalo. So the first animal I saw was the African buffalo. So one of the amazing things about the Nairobi National Park is that you get to see wildlife like this with a skyline like that. Nowhere else in the world where you can be able to do this. So there you are. Look at that. They look like statues, but those are giraffe. Beautiful, aren't they? So one of the things that you will find when coming to any national park, not just Nairobi, but I think it's more of Nairobi than other places as well, is that there's a lot of nothingness. Probably when you're thinking about coming to a national park, you will expect to be finding a lot of animals the minute you enter. That's not necessarily the case. You'll find a lot of grassland. You'll find a lot of empty spaces with no animals at all, and that's not a bad thing. And so if you're not prepared to spend a few hours looking for the animals, then probably coming to a national park is not for you. If you're expecting to see animals the first thing, you probably just want to go to a zoo like the National Orphanage here in the Nairobi National Park. at the entrance. But if you're looking for that wilderness experience, then expect to have a few hours sometimes of just searching for animals and with no animal in sight, and that's a good thing. So these are other tourists, so I decided to follow a caravan of guys who seem like they know where they're going. So let's follow them and see whether we find more animals. Hello, monkey, 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 monkey. Monkey doesn't want to look at me. Aw, monkey doesn't like me. So I decided to follow vehicles that are much bigger than mine. And it's been an interesting experience because I have gone through very rough terrain. But everything seems to be working out right now. So yeah, I'm headed out to the main gate, back to the main gate now. And so I'm following the big boys. So now that I've completed the tour of the Nairobi National Park, here are my thoughts on what I've found. So first, I'm going to give you a list of pros and cons, then finally recommend whether you should visit it or not. So first, probably I should mention, I'm hanging out next to a really nice sculpture of a rhino. So pros and cons of visiting Nairobi National Park. I think the first would be, the first pro is that you're going to see beautiful sceneries, just as you saw in the video. And there are lots of beautiful landscapes, and especially now that it's green, it's a beautiful landscape, and so you get to see really beautiful landscapes there. The other thing about visiting the Nairobi National Park is that you are not going to be very far from the city. And so if you visit Nairobi National Park when you're in a hurry, you're probably not planning to spend a long time in Nairobi, then Nairobi National Park is ideal for you because it's a short drive. We spent roughly around what's a plane passing? So we spent roughly around 4 hours in the park. And so if you're in Nairobi and you have an extra day, it's definitely worth checking out. You will see a number of animals, not in very large populations, but you will see animals. And so that's one of the other pros of visiting the park. And in addition to that, you will get to see the animals in their natural habitat. Now, with the pros, I would say the cons for me really hit it for me because I was expecting to see many more animals than what I saw. Even the animals that I saw, though, so I saw buffalo, African buffalo, I saw a giraffe, I saw antelopes, I saw a hippo, well, the head of a hippo, I saw giraffes, I think I mentioned giraffes, right? And that's the end of my list. I didn't see very many. Oh, I saw a warthog as well. There are not very many animals in the park that I saw. Probably it's the time or the routes that I chose to take. Also, probably it's the fact that I didn't take a guide, which also affected whether I would see animals or not. I did try to trail, and I think you've seen that in the video. I tried to trail a number of the professional tour vans, and so that yielded some results because we were able to see a few more animals that way. But for me, the biggest con is that you won't see as many animals as you would expect from a national park in Africa, a Kenyan national park. And so my recommendation would be, if you are really keen on seeing animals and not just good terrain, then come go to places like Masai Mara, go to places like Amboseli. Those ones are bound to give you way more sceneries of animals that are in greater number and greater diversity. However, if you're here for a short time in Nairobi, Nairobi National Park is definitely worth checking out. So do check it out. You can read my full review and see more pictures on my blog, eastafricatraveltips.com, and I'll be posting more videos like this. Now, my intention is, I have been to Masai Mara and Amboseli, but that was when I was a bit younger, and now I would like to visit those places when I am older, I'm wiser, I'm a more experienced traveler, and so I would want to experience them with that light, and with an aim of helping to tell you, are they worth visiting or are they not? So keep on watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so that you don't miss the other videos of the reviews of the other parks that I'm going to be visiting, and stick around. So thank you so much for watching this video, and stick around. East Africa Travel Tips. And more than everything, don't just watch this video. Come down to Africa. It's a beautiful place to visit, and you'll definitely enjoy it. So until next time, catch you later.